Blessings, blessings. All right, so I promised that I would show you all how to make these refried beans. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I'm using some avocado oil to coat the pan, and we've done that here. Blessings, blessings. Thank you for joining. So I'm gonna show you how to make some authentic refried beans the way I was taught growing up. So you're gonna go ahead and coat your pan, preferably an iron pan. I like cooking in the iron pan, so preferably one of these. And then, but if you don't have it, it'll work with any pan. This is just the pans that I like to use. So what we're gonna do is we're taking our jalapenos. I got this one at the farmer's market and another one, and we're just gonna toast them. So you want lots of ventilation, because if these get a little hot, they could choke you out. So you want lots of ventilation. So I've got my doors open. You're gonna toast these up. So if you can, this gives it a little bit of that chili flavor. It won't necessarily make it hot, but unless it accidentally pops. So, you know, if you have kids that would be sensitive to the heat, you just want to make sure that the jalapenos stay intact. I'm going to rise my fire because it's a little too low. Earlier I had set the beans, and let me see if you can see. I can't see your comments, so so earlier I had set the beans in a crock pot. So instead of getting canned beans, which will be sitting in some sort of preservative, in addition, you don't know what type of water they're using. I know that these beans have been cooking up in some spring water. I don't season them while they cook up because we can make a variety of dishes with the beans. We're making today the pinto, but you could make chili beans out of this, barbecue beans. So if you season it up, I mean, you can. I've done that in the past, but I find that you can season it up after. If you're in a rush, put this on before you go to work. Just make sure it's on low, and when you get home, you can get ready to cook up your beans, okay? And again, beans are parts of the G-bombs that Nathaniel Jordan talks about. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. And those are the things that we want to give our family, and especially family that has, yeah, and it does pop. So you got to be kind of careful because it will hit you. But this is what you want to do. You want to get these chilies in here toasted to add that extra flavor. That's what we're doing. You can see the chili is toasted up real nice. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, I appreciate it. I know I'm a little late getting on here, but better late than never. So again, we're making some refried beans. We've already cooked our beans in the crock pot, and we're gonna transfer those beans over here. Word of caution, when you do transfer the beans, because we're dealing with water and oil, there will be some popping. So give lots of love to the chef in your home, because they put their skin being popped in danger, right? So some of the ingredients that I'm going to use for this cook-up, I will be using some turmeric. I'm going to throw some turmeric in there, along with some Himalayan pink salt. I'm going to throw some of that in there. In order to activate the turmeric, we do have to use cayenne pepper or black pepper. Something here for my. So I'm going gonna get these out while this is cooking up. I'm also gonna use, to give it a little bit of a cheesy flavor, I'm gonna use some nutritional yeast. Let me find my cayenne pepper. I'm gonna throw some black pepper and some cayenne pepper. The other things you can add to it, you can season it up how you want, but right here, this base right here is what would be welcomed to give it some flavor. The other thing that I sometimes do, I haven't done it in a while, but sometimes I'll get the canned jalapenos and throw a little bit of juice in there, the pickled jalapenos. But we're not going to do that today, and that gives it another great flavor. So let me see if I can. This. I kind of wanted to bring it closer for you to see, but it's a little, hopefully it won't pop out. So you can see how it's toasting up here. So that's kind of what you're looking for. Again, this is giving the pan some flavor. So when we pop the beans in there, this oil will already have flavor. And I used avocado oil. I used avocado oil. You see, I'm looking out to see if there's any questions. We are making refried beans. I'm going to show you how we make that happen today. So, I for a long time I was buying my beans in the can, and I just, for sometimes the beans, the dry beans in the bins are like 69 cents a pound, and then you go and you buy the can, and the can isn't even a pound. The can is, a small can. It's only going to give you a little bit, probably barely fill up this. So you would have to buy 2 or 3 cans. So now you're talking $3 if you bought 3 cans, if you could find it on sale. And you don't know what type of water they use. You would have to read the back to see what are the preservatives that they put in there. Here, you get yourself a crock pot, put it on, go to work, or finish your errands, whatever it is that you're doing. And by the time the evening comes around, this was actually ready around 4:35, and I had put them on at 9 on low. If I put them on high, it probably would have only taken about 2 hours for the beans to cook. Some people soak their beans the night before. That's not a bad idea, especially with the pinto beans, because if you were wanting to, like if you end up getting lots of gas from beans, a lot of people have that, you can soak them the night before, and that would help alleviate some of the gas that it sets off. So these are toasted really good. So now we're going to add our beans. Beans are a great protein source, so if you are going plant-powered, vegan, plant-based, you would want to make sure that you're getting a nice dose of beans every day, because I learned from Titus Unlimited that protein is not something that regenerates itself. So every day you have to make sure you're getting your protein, okay? I know a lot of people say, well, how do you get protein if you're not eating meat? Remember, this is the first source of protein. Eating dead flesh, dead animals, the only reason why you're getting protein from them is because of what they ate. And nowadays, a lot of the animals are not even eating the way they're supposed to. They're eating corn or corn-based products. So again, so this is getting your protein right from the source. So this is actually better than eating an animal for protein, okay? I posted about dementia. A lot of family members are, dealing with that situation, and it's really sad. I remember when I was married, my ex's grandfather had gotten Alzheimer's, and this was a man that just, was so powerful and just was so, a lot of the family just, he was like the pillar of the family. And then once that happened, that really was tragic for everyone. And I didn't know anything about plant-based foods, but if that's something that's happening in your family, you want to get your family member to, or encourage them to eat plant-based foods, and you might possibly be able to reverse it, right? And that's what we want. Okay, so we got this cooking up. So now the beans are actually cooked already. So what we're going to be doing is adding the spices to give it a nice cook up. Traditionally, people, I don't know if they use turmeric. I enjoy using turmeric. My grandkids love the flavors. So, and they're actually my best taste testers because they will tell me if they don't like it. Amira, she's like, Gigi, make that mac and cheese you made before, or no cheese, because I've been experimenting with different ones, and they let you know if they don't like something. So I'm just coating it. I probably, you don't have to put this much, but this is what I do. That's the turmeric. And again, when you're using turmeric, you've got to add cayenne pepper in order for it to work well in your system. Turmeric, for athletes or for anybody that's getting their workout on, or dealing with arthritis, turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. So that means it's going to help your body to not feel a lot of that soreness if you've been working out, and or that pain from arthritis, because arthritis is actually just inflammation going on in your body. Okay, so we just got done adding the turmeric, the cayenne pepper, the ground pepper, black pepper, and now I'm going to add some pink Himalayan salt. And you can always add more if you feel like you want more salt after, it cooks up a little bit to get some of those flavors in there. Okay. Let's see, I do. Now, this is, if you were cooking for your family, you have small children, this is probably where you would want to just go ahead and stop with the hot. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to add nutritional yeast. So this is going to give it a little bit of that cheesy flavor. Because again, we don't want to be using dairy products, especially cheese. These are things that do not do well in our bodies. So using nutritional yeast is going to help that. Yeah, I'm messy. I'm not a clean cook. So nutritional yeast, you can get these anywhere. This one I just happened to have gotten at Trader Joe's. Okay. If you do like the cheesy flavor, but you're trying to get off the cheese, then you would want to start making sure you have nutritional yeast in your cabinet, because this is going to help replace that flavor of cheese you're looking for. So now we're just going to go ahead and mix it all up. So yeah, you can leave the chilies in there. That's going to continue to give it more flavor. Or you can take the chilies out if you're afraid that, because after a while, sometimes the stem part will break off. So if you want to take that out, that's fine. What I really like about these beans is they have a real pretty color, and they're taking on that turmeric golden color, I guess, if you want to say. I don't know. So we're just kind of mixing in all the flavors right now. So then you'd want to test this. You can smash it up if you like your beans to be smashed. I don't have a bean smasher, but if you want them smashed, you can definitely do that. I probably would do it with one of these. You just go in, and because they've been cooking for a while, they're going to be nice and smash up real easy. You just, again, want to be careful you don't smash up the jalapeno chilies unless you're working, you know, unless there are people like myself, if I'm just cooking for me or for anyone who can handle the spice. I don't mind if it gets broken up, but if you're sensitive to hot, you want to make sure these stay intact, okay? I use 2, you can just use 1, it doesn't have to be 2. So you can see it smashed it up pretty good. If you wanted more smash up, you just keep working with it. And this is why they call it the refried, right? Okay. Now let me see, there was something else I was gonna talk to you about. Okay, so the other thing you can do is, again, if you wanted, you could use pickled jalapeno, but for me, because I don't mind the spice, that's what I'm going to use. And again, this is for me, so I'm just, because I don't mind the heat, I'm going to pop off this end here, because I don't want this to show up in the food. And then I'm just going to, just a little bit. If you were worried about heat, then you would take out all the seeds. Okay, so I'm just going to take those out. The seeds are where a lot of the heat is, but I do want the flavor of the jalapenos, so we got that going. I'm going to turn down the heat. I'm going to show you something else that you could do to add a cheesy flavor. All right, tahini. This is just sesame seed, ground sesame seed, and you would want to get some of this and a lemon. Oh, let me see, there it is, a lemon. We're gonna cut up the lemon. We're gonna mix these two, and then we're gonna put them in the beans, and that's gonna give it a cheesy flavor, okay? So let me move some of this stuff out the way. And I'll show you how this works up, okay? Let me see if I can turn this. Hi, Candy. Thank you for watching. Hi, Mike. Blessings to you. Blessings, Eric. Blessings, Denise. Good to see you on. Hey, Gina. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do the tahini now. So if you were interested in having more cheesy flavor, then this would be a way to go. Trying to see if you guys could see. Yeah, you could see. Okay. And again, we're just lowering the fire. We're letting these flavors cook in. And as you can see, it can get a little hot and sticky. So you want to move it around a little bit. I'll probably add some more juice because it's going to dry up some. And one of my friends is always saying, I don't want no dry beans. So we don't want the beans to dry out. All right, so now we're gonna open up the tahini. When you first open this up, you're going to have to mix it around. I've done that already, but just so that you know, when you open this up, don't just start taking it right out. You've got to mix it up, right? So I'm gonna do that right now. So I'm gonna show you. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and just take a couple. You could use a spoon if you wanted. That's easier. I'm just using a fork. Again, this is just sesame seed. If we look, let's see if we can look at the ingredients. There are the ingredients right there. Ground organic sesame seeds. And that's another source of protein. Okay, so this is a great addition if you're wanting to, if you're wanting to get away from eating cheese. Just because it's vegan or plant powered doesn't mean that it has to be nasty. It actually can be very delicious. All right, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut this lemon. Now, I use a lot of lemon in my cooking. Let me see, I don't think you can see. Yeah, there we go. You're gonna go ahead and juice out the lemon. And something that I do, and it could be an option for you. I don't like to use deodorant unless I'm covering a large event and I'm gonna be working all day, then I would do that. But like for every day, if you're home weekends or you can try it, especially if you're going more plant-based. You actually can take the lemons after you squeeze them and use them as, put them under your underarm, and that will prevent the smell, and it's natural. It actually even lightens up your underarms. So this could actually be a great deodorant. Again, that's when you're changing over to plant-based, because if you're still eating a lot of dairy, the smells are gonna be possibly stronger. So I just added the lemon juice to this, and we're gonna stir it up. You're gonna see how it's gonna change. I'll hold this there. So you can see lemon juice is giving it a whole different texture. I'm just gonna keep working with it. Again, I'm gonna add some more juice to them beans, because as they cook up, the juice will evaporate. So I'm gonna add some more to that. So did you see how that turned, right? That turned from a darker color to now a little bit lighter. And it's also starting to get really thick. Now, if you were to eat this right now, it's very strong. So this isn't something you would like use as a dip. You just wanted to use it as like a seasoning, as an ingredient. I could add more lemon to this, but since I'm going to put it in the beans, I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to go ahead and took a big scoop of it. I'm going to put that in there. And we're also going to add, like I said, some more juice, because it's kind of drying out a little bit. Let me see if you guys can see. There we go. So now we're gonna go ahead and mix that up in there. Now I've lowered my fire, but because this iron pan holds the heat, it's still a little strong of a fire, right? But As long as you pay attention to it, stir it up, you should be good. I'm not perfect in my cooking. I do make a mess. I watch some of these YouTube shows and boy, they're so professional. They put a lot of time in. This is raw, uncut, completely authentic. I really don't have the time to make professional videos. But I just want to be able to show you guys, you know, how to do certain things. Like this is really simple. This isn't something super hard to do. This is simple. So you can see that the beans there's some whole ones and there's some smashed up ones. Right, so now we have a cheesy flavor, both with the nutritional yeast and the tahini. And I'm gonna taste test it, see what we got going on for flavors. And sometimes with the Himalaya, the thing about the Himalaya is it can require more salt than when you're using the white salt. And you want to get away from the white salt, okay? The white salt, there's no type of nutritional value in that. So if you can, get away from the white salt and go with real salt. That's something Diamond DP uses a lot. He uses the real salt. Or you can do the pink Himalayan. Okay, that's pretty yummy. It is a little, has some heat to it, but that's because again we added that one jalapeno in there and I crushed it up. So, but I think it does need a little bit more salt. That's kind of how I predicted. So I'm putting a little bit more in there. I don't really do measurements. So if you were kind of wanting to test it out, you might want to start off doing some measurements and then you will know exactly how to do it. I just, you know, flick the rest. So let's see, how are our chilies looking? So at this point, if you wanted to pull out these chilies because you're afraid that they might pop in there, then you could do that. Because as it continues to cook up, they will disintegrate. So you can pull them out. But that's about it, everybody. This is pretty good. It's ready to go. Put this in tortillas. In Belize, they have what's called fry jack, and they'll put beans over that. And oh my gosh, that is so good. Maybe I'll have to show that one up again. So that's about it. Thank you guys for joining, and many blessings to you. Hope this helped. Any questions, give me a call. All right, or inbox me. Go to the YouTube channel. That's where this will be. So if you want to go back and look at it, you can see it. And subscribe in the Rasta Kitchen. All right, blessings to you.